Hi, I'm Michael Brakovich, and this is why I flipped my classroom. In the traditional classroom model, I was finding that 80 to 90% of class time was spent in front of the room, just talking to students, lecturing. I would teach the material, I would take their questions and restate things that I was teaching them, which is fine. This is what we do to teach students new things. And I was telling them to take notes. But again, 80 to 90% of class time. This is an inefficient use of time in the classroom. When we would go to our desk, 10 to 20% of that remaining class time, what we would do there is sit down and do general practice problems. Was there one-on-one help? I was there, but not as much as I would like to be. I would like to be getting to every single student as much as I can. At home, students would take home homework and be frustrated. Maybe they had this class early in the day. Then they get home and they're not sure, they don't remember how to do these new mathematical concepts, or they just didn't take the right notes, or they didn't take the right thing home, and they don't remember how to do this. Now with the flipped classroom, students will be preloaded with this information at home. What they'll do is they'll go home with a note sheet and they'll watch a video of me on YouTube. They'll watch the video lecture and find all the important information. I have a note sheet that's typed out that they need to fill in the important concepts of, and they'll bring this into class. The great thing about this video lecture is they are self-paced. Students that are working through the lecture really quickly, they hear things once, they understand them, they're done with just one view. Some students are working a little bit slower. Maybe they weren't paying attention or something else was going on. They need to pause, they need to go back and rewatch, and then they can understand the material from there. In middle school, we find that a 30-minute class lecture, on average, turns into about a 6-minute video lecture. Most of my videos are around 5 or 6 minutes. Some are a little bit lower, and only a couple are a little bit higher than 6 minutes. You can find me on youtube.com. My username is BradCoco. Now what does this do for the classroom? When we're actually in class, there is no lecture. Remember that 80 to 90% of the time spent on lecturing? Now that turns into 100% of the time working, discussing, and living math. We get to actually talk about mathematical concepts. We get to dig deeper into what do these things mean? What do they mean in our lives? I have more time to do one-on-one and small group work with all students. I get to really learn where each individual student is at. I get to differentiate for that individual student. Some students I'm finding are just taking more time to do things. They're not necessarily behind, they just needed a little bit more class time. And that's okay too. Also, new activities. We're being told at professional development that we need to do new things in our classroom. We need to implement this new idea. And what are we telling them as educators? We're saying we don't have the time. But now with the flipped classroom, we have all of our time back to do things in the classroom. For more information on the flipped classroom, please visit the Friday Institute at this website.